Hi everybody, how's it going? Hope you're all doing really well. I want to record a quick video because I have some thoughts and ideas to get off my chest. My name's Devin. I'm 34 years old, feel very old. Uh, and my story, I'm sure much like yours, has had ups and downs. And it's at this point in my life I feel compelled to state my intentions, my goals with myself and my energy, and then to honor that, to honor those goals. I see a lot of distractions in advertising and the conventional wisdom of those around. And I realize from what gets me excited that the people that I aspire to emulate, the people that inspire me, and I could name names, but are people that follow their own compass, are people that achieve things of merit based on their own goals and passion. And it begs the question, what am I passionate about? And I'm passionate about surfing, about skiing, about swimming, and about introspection, about being honest with myself. That kind of seems, I'm sure, wishy-washy or nebulous or non-committal in terms of a definition, but I mean that in earnest. I was a real angry person. I still am on a certain level, but I've been very angry for a long time of my life, and it's manifested in self-destructive behavior and thought. For that reason, I've had to learn about anger. I've had to learn about the part of me that would do ill, would seek vengeance and malevolence. I've had to understand what evil is, and it's given me a great deal of perspective on history, on the lessons of history, on psychology, and as a tangent, because of really my main successful strategy for integrating my shadow, as Jungian psychology would describe, for dealing with my anger in simpler terms, is exercise. And I've learned how physiology connects inextricably to psychology. These are not in any way differentiable studies. They are inextricably linked. The body is the mind is the body. And you can go more metaphysical with it, if you want to talk about vibration and quantum physics and stuff. But for the purposes of this video, I'm not interested in getting into things that take me away from the point of articulating my goal at 34 years old for myself, my life, what's brought me to this place, and who I look to that give me energy and fuel. And as well, what kind of people do the opposite. So I grew up in an affluent community, one of the most affluent in the world, the Silicon Valley. I felt in my chest that I could do anything growing up. I was the fastest kid. I was the athlete in my small private elementary school. And at 8 years old or thereabouts, my parents split up, and my whole psychological world, the walled garden of my existence, Eden, fell. and I became one of them. I became a person that I would have had disdain for prior. I became a person that was no longer better than anybody else, and it was the best thing for me. It's been, multiple decades of my life having to deal with that initial trauma. And listen, I know this may sound self-centered or self-aggrandizing. Oh, your parents got divorced. What, who cares? Lord knows people out there have suffered greater tragedy. My point in recounting this story is not to compare myself with anybody else. My point is to give you a window into myself. That experience as a young boy and kind of the associated emotional traumas created an extremely bitter individual. I had deep, deep seated and fruiting anger and rage. And that became my primary motivator for success. Prior to that, my motivator for success in competition was feeling that I was good enough, that I could beat you straight up. Let's go. After having gone through that transformative time of my life, 8, 9, 10 years old, my motivation became always feeling worthless on some deep physiological level, and wanting bitterly to destroy anybody that would throw that in my face. Well, that only worked for so long before I realized it was taking me down a path that was not sustainable. In college, I went to UC Santa Cruz and I surfed just about every day, and it saved my life. I was in a real dark place. I had been playing the game of academics for so long. I did real well in high school. That in college, the reality of the ocean was so much more real to me than anything said or done in the classrooms, that it really begged my evolution as a human being into what I now am, which is, a crazy 34-year-old. But it helped me realize that there's no synthetic, anthropogenic, man-made system that can supersede the natural order. There's nothing that can be said in the classroom that can fully encapsulate what exists in nature, right? Any study of the natural world, and I did a bachelor's in geology, is an abstract representation. It's not the real thing, right? Surfing is a wonderful discipline, way of life, you might say, because it's communion with submission to what is natural, what is real. It doesn't matter how you feel about catching a wave. You either catch a wave or you don't. There's something pure in that. So what's my point? My point is I've had to develop a skill set to be able to deal with my own demons. And I've done so. And I continue to do so. It's a lot of exercise, a lot of self-reflection, introspection, honesty, both internally and with my wife and those close to me. And I really feel that I've developed tools in this skill set that have maintained and allowed me to build more fully a healthy lifestyle, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I want to share this. I want to give this to as many people as I can. And I'm struggling with how to do so. I find myself kind of raging against the machine from time to time at how things are so overly commodified, in my opinion, and the essence of things, the joy of things, is too often equivocated. Is that right word? with its monetary value in the marketplace. And that's just a non-starter for me. Let's talk about new life being born, right? There's no monetary compensation to mothers for giving birth, and yet as a society we're all in agreement that giving birth is a worthwhile and taxing, no pun intended, endeavor. So I think it's important to realize that important things need not be bought or sold. Important things need be focused upon, and value in the marketplace comes second. I wish you all the best. I know this has kind of been a meandering monologue, and I'll try to get more focused on a linear messaging soon. But suffice it to say, after having gone through 3 decades of life, married to the best woman I could possibly imagine to be in a partnership with a baby on the way, with a little puppy pie sleeping in the corner there, with health and vitality, with inspiration, with positivity, with having overcome demons of anger, resentment, rage, frustration, depression, anxiety, mania. I'm left with the inspiration to stand up against both the forces that sent me through the ringer, so to speak, as well as the forces that would stand in the way of the healing of people like myself included, in the way that I've described. So I'm participating in online coaching with a guy, not offering, but as a client, Carl O'Donnell, who does Swim 360, Ben, can't remember his last name, but who runs ATG, Athletic Truth Group. He goes by Kneesovertoesguy on Instagram. Very awesome. I highly recommend his programming for rehabbing knees and overcoming knee pain. And I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson for getting your mind right, especially if you're a young man in America and feel nihilistic or otherwise unmotivated to take on greater responsibility in your life. I'm a fan of guys like David Goggins, and I just really think that there's value in working on oneself cognitively, emotionally, spiritually, all, kind of the trifecta, if you like, because there's a lot of fun realizations to be had that, not to promote solipsism or the idea that nobody else can be proven to exist except the self, but there's a weird conundrum that nobody else exists to you except through the lens of your perception of that person. That is to say, how you feel colors how you see and relate to everything and everyone around you. You go out looking for a fight, you'll find one. You go out looking to help someone or something or the world, you'll probably be of more service than the next person. So I recognize the degree to which I've improved my internal landscape and how much more work that there is to be done and that I can do. And I'm, in doing so, left with a resonant compulsion to be an advocate for this process in anybody and everybody that I'm able to do so. And I feel like it's such a meandering stream that I don't really know how to start. So I want to just put this this monologue out to you guys. I am super interested to hear what you have to say. I hope that you are happy and healthy and motivated and inspired. I know 2020 has been a challenging and trying time for the world. And so I'm really interested in your thoughts. Please leave a comment for me. Let me know what you think. And I will keep the content coming, specifically in the interest of helping those going through what I've been through or similar circumstances. If you're having trouble with drugs or alcohol, if you're having difficulty in your personal relationships, if you're dealing with your own negative emotions and not finding successful strategies in dealing with those things, if you're having difficulty in your physical fitness or rehabbing from injury, as much as I'd love to be an engineer and be building rockets like Starship and SpaceX, I feel like what I'm describing is more my wheelhouse, so might as well double down. So please do reach out to me. I would love to be an advocate. I would love to be a resource to you. So much love. Peace out, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.